Coach, you get a little banged up, but you get what you want this past Friday night. You beat Greer 39-26. Your overall, and we'll talk about the injuries in a moment, but your overall thoughts on the ball game, what your team did well, what you want to improve on moving into week 2.
Yeah, we number one, we just found a way to win against a lot of adversity against a great team. I feel like it's one of the best teams Greer's had in 20 years, and I expect to see those guys play in South Point for the upper state championship in their division. So anytime you can get a win, that's the most important thing, but we definitely are banged up. We're just proud of how our guys just, didn't flinch. We've been trying to prepare them for adversity. We've talked about finishing, and they found a way to finish. So a lot of positives to come out of that. A lot of young kids, that was their first varsity game. And so, a lot to improve on, though, definitely, as we move forward.
You talk about injuries, and you lost your top running back, Reggie Harris. What's the nature of his injury, Coach, and can you give us an idea as to when he might be available?
Yeah, he's got a hairline fracture in his ankle, and so, we're hoping about 5 weeks he'll be back. If anybody can get back sooner and work through it, he's that kind of kid. He misses being out there, and, we'll miss him in more than one facet, not only his physical ability, but his leadership ability really developed as that facet. So, but, some young guys that have been preparing themselves for this opportunity, and I think they'll step up and do well.
So who is next in line? What do you do in terms of your running back rotation now? Who will we see on Friday?
Oh, yeah, 2 guys are already there, Mike Jenkins and Haven Hill, and then we also moved Zach Davis over from receiver. He's played there before, and so, there'll be a committee there, and just kind of see how practice goes and see who wins that starting spot. They got one more day to prove it today.
Your offense did score 39 points the other night. What worked well?
Well, I think we were able to throw the ball well, spread the ball out to a multitude of receivers. We feel like we've got 4 guys that can do something with the ball anytime we get it in their hands. So our coaches did a great job of doing some motions and shifts and just trying to create some mismatches with our receivers. But, I'm just proud of all of them. Number one, they block better than I've ever seen them block in a year and a half, and that's, a tribute to our coaches and those guys buying into that. But and they also ran good routes and protected the ball once they got it in space.
Defensively, you also got banged up, Coach. Who got hurt and who has to step up at which positions?
Yeah, we're already without Jalen Miller, but Buddy Mack went down in the third quarter with an Achilles strain, and so Ethan Harris came in, filled in, Dorian Jones and Kobe Moss. All those guys stepped up and finished the game well for us. So it'll be same deal. We'll got a fight in practice to figure out who's that next guy is, but all of them are capable and ready.
Reggie Shaw, head coach of the Byrnes Rebels, joining us on the Sign Force Hotline. All right, you're at home this week against Northwestern. What do you see out of film when you look at the Trojans?
Well, you see, number one, a tough defense, big, physical, fast. They get to the ball well, and they're kind of angry when they get there. So we've got our hands full on with their defense. Offensively, we've got 2 really good playmakers, and we'll have to stop. And the quarterback throws the ball well. He got banged up a little bit last week, but I don't think it was anything major, and anticipate him coming back. So we've got a good run threat and several pass threats, and I think anytime Byrnes and Northwestern lines up, you got a potential for a big ball game. This series has always been very competitive through the years.
Quick thought, Coach, if you will, on Dre Williams, the running back for Greer. He had big numbers against Byrnes. You've seen some very good running backs, I'm sure, over the course of your career. Where does this kid rate, at least based on what you saw the other night?
Wow, he's got to be top 5 for me. He's one of the fastest, most total backs I've ever seen. He's got great vision. He's got great cuts, and once he explodes out, there's not many guys that are going to catch him. I think he's a 10-6, 10-7 track guy, and you could see that once he got clear of the line, it was all over. And so I think there's big things ahead for that young man. He just ran hard and he ran through tackles, and so I definitely think he's one of the best in the state that I've seen firsthand.
That being said, how did you feel about your defense's tackling the other night? What can improve going forward?
Well, there's a lot of improvements to be made. You can't simulate that kind of athlete in practice, and we don't tackle to the ground. And so we've tried to tweak some things in how we approach tackling, how we teach tackling, and how we reinforce that. But also our coaches made some good adjustments at halftime to tweak some things schematically, going to a 3-3, and we felt like that helped us and maybe played our strengths a little more in the second half and kind of disrupted that offense some.
Let's wrap it up with your keys this Friday night. Biggest keys for Byrnes trying to beat Northwestern.
Well, you got to start with us. They say the biggest improvement occurs between week 1 and 2, and that's what I want to see. Is what we've challenged our guys on. There were too many missed assignments, too many turnovers, too many missed tackles, and so it's about getting better individually each day, each rep, and then you want to see that on the field. But as always, we want to protect the football. We want to take shots when we want to and not when we're forced to, and just want to be a little more balanced on offense. Defensively, we just got to stop the run first and eliminate the big play on the pass. And special teams-wise, we got to clean up our kickoff team, and we don't like giving up any kind of big yardage plays on that. And we feel good about our kicker, and just got to shore up the coverage. And I think if we take care of that, the game will take care of itself.
Coach, good luck Friday night. We appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate you guys.